Houston Real Estate Radio.
Welcome back to Houston Real Estate Radio. We are broadcasting on AM 700 KSEV, and we're your voice for real estate in the Houston area. I want to welcome back to the show Rhondalyn Riley from Exterior Inspections. She's been here before and talked about different types of inspections. And last week we started discussing about pool inspections, and there's so much to know, so much for consumers to know. And now that we're in the swim season, really wanted to have her back on the show to get a little more into that. You know, the biggest danger that people think of with a swimming pool is drowning. The thing that I always hear about is, don't leave your kids alone. You go answer the phone, you come back and they've drowned. But there are other things to know about a pool. There are other safety concerns. And now that we're right here in the middle of the swim season, I want to talk to Rhondalyn about that and some of the other things to look for when you're purchasing a home with a pool. So welcome back, Rhondalyn.
Thank you, Shannon.
So tell us, what are some of those safety concerns that you look for when you're inspecting a pool?
Well, I just want to start out by saying that, the majority of drownings don't happen in the big water parks like a lot of people would expect. They happen in private and semi-private pools, and that would be pools in people's backyards and pools at apartment complexes. We hear about that all the time. So drowning is a big concern. We talked about last week about doors opening to the pool, having audible alarms that can be heard throughout the house. But another thing that's helpful in prevention of drowning is making sure that the drains and suction fittings are proper and compliant to what we call the VGB, or the Virginia Graham-Baker Spa and Pool Safety Act. That's a mouthful. And what that safety act or that law entails is proper drain fittings to prevent entrapment. There are 5 forms of entrapment that we're trying to avoid, and that would be hair entrapment, evisceration or disembowelment, mechanical entrapment, limb entrapment, and body entrapment. And basically what that means is that either your hair or your body or some part of your body gets sucked into the drain or onto the drain, and then you can't release yourself, and consequently resulting in drowning. The Virginia Graham-Baker, it was a little girl who was the granddaughter of our Secretary of State, I believe, Mr. Baker, and she was an avid swimmer, and she became entrapped on a pool drain, and her mother dove in to try to rescue her, and she couldn't pull her off. And the 2 men who finally got the little girl off the pool drain actually broke the drain covers trying to get her off, but at that point she had drowned. So
when you say drain, are we talking about the drains at the very bottom of the pool in the deep end, or are there other drains that this applies to?
Well, it would be drains in the deep end or in the bottom of a spa. And ironically, in spas, because there's so much water movement in a spa, generally those have a higher suction than the ones for the pool. And so, yes, the drains at the bottom of the pool, kids like to play those, let's sink to the bottom of the pool and see who can sit down, on the bottom of the pool and stay the longest. Well, they can become entrapped on the drain. So the Virginia Graham-Baker Safety Act helps prevent entrapment. And the pools, private pools, as well as semi-private pools, will all need to be upgraded to meet the Safety Act, which is changing out drain covers to comply with the law.
When did that code come into effect? Has that been something that's been around in the last several years, or is it something brand new?
It's been around for at least since 2009. Okay. And so, they've given private pool owners, probably most people don't even realize that they need to be complying with this. And their pool, if they have a pool service company, then the pool service companies certainly can take care of that for them. But if they do their pool maintenance themselves, they need to be aware that they need to upgrade the drain covers.
So if you're purchasing a home with an older pool, this is definitely something that you need to be aware of and make sure that it's been upgraded before you purchase the home.
Absolutely.
Now, what else are you looking for when you go in, and we're talking about specific pool inspections? What are you actually looking for in addition to the safety issues? What other types of things are you looking for?
Well, we're wanting to make sure that the lining of the pool or the plaster is intact, that there's not peeling or spalling. We're looking for offsets regarding the coping or the tile around the pool. We're looking at the, just the overall condition. Is there any offsets or...
Do you think that when people purchase a home, well, whether it's really a resale home or whether you're starting with a brand new pool in your backyard, do you think that the majority of people maintain their chemistry themselves or use some sort of maintenance company to come in and take care of that for them? And then the second part of that is, are they, if they do maintain it themselves, are they taking it somewhere, to a pool company to have it checked, or is this something they're all just doing right there in the backyard?
Well, okay. So the first answer to your question is they need to be educated. A homeowner needs to be educated. So whether or not they have a pool service company or they're taking care of the pool themselves, I would really suggest that they go to some place like the National Swimming Pool Foundation. They have a website. It's nspf.org, and they can take an online class in order to just become familiar with their pool equipment and how to test their water. Because really, even if you have a pool service company, you need to be checking in between the times that your pool service company comes. For example, you have a big party on Friday, you wake up, your water is cloudy on Saturday. Guess what? Your pool guy is not scheduled to come till next Wednesday, so you've got to be able to maintain it yourself. So I think a homeowner really needs to educate themselves so that they know how to properly do the water chemistry and to maintain their pool in between visits from their service company.
Okay. And there are some common problems that come along with having a pool. Well, just touch on briefly some of those common problems that homeowners need to be aware of.
Well, I think that they need to go outside and look around their pool equipment, make sure that the pool equipment hasn't developed a leak, make sure that the heater hasn't developed a leak, that their filter hasn't developed a leak, and also look at the pool gauges on their filter. The gauges on the filter are an indication of how well the water is flowing through the filter and whether or not it is time to backwash the pool.
You always recommend a pool inspection on a resale house that has a pool, is that correct?
Yes.
Even though that first inspector that comes through, they're looking at the pool, they have to look at the safety issues, they have to look at the electrical, and they're looking at the entire house as a whole, everything that could be wrong with it. But you still think that it needs a specific pool inspection, is that right?
I do. And, when in the inspection business, when we're talking about a general home inspection, there's the big three money items, which are foundation, HVAC, which is air conditioning and heating and roof. And of the optional systems, I would say that the pool is the big money item. That's going to be the thing that can cost you, anywhere from $100 to $1,000 or more dollars having the pool repaired. So it's definitely worth the money. I mentioned last week that it's only $80 to $120 to have that add-on service for the pool inspection. So it's well worth the money spent to save yourself maybe $1,000 on equipment repair.
Usually when you purchase a resale home, I know this is true for the Houston area, you usually get some sort of warranty with the home. It's very common in our industry in real estate that the home comes with a warranty. What do you think about the warranties that cover the pool equipment? Because that's usually an optional upgrade on the warranty. And sometimes I sell resale houses that have a pool and the buyers ask for that coverage, and then other times they don't. What do you recommend?
Well, I think if the seller is offering the pool warranty, I think absolutely take it. Depending on the cost of the pool warranty, I think that you have it inspected, and if it's in good working order, I think maintaining it is just as cost effective as having the pool warranty.
I think the better you maintain it and take care of it over the years, the less expense you're going to have in the long run, don't you think?
I think deferred maintenance is more costly than regular maintenance, for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I totally agree. And you definitely don't want to buy a home that just has a lot of pool problems, because there's going to be a lot of expense up front just getting it where it needs to be, not just up to code, but getting it to where you can start maintaining it. So all of those sellers out there that are ready to sell, we definitely want you to get your pools up to code before you put it on the market, because that's definitely going to be a necessity.
I think that's a great idea to be proactive as a seller, to have somebody come out and inspect the pool and do that low-hanging fruit kind of things. It will help you avoid deficiencies on your inspection report.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming back and joining us today, Rhondalyn. Always great to talk with you. You have some great information about home inspections and safety, really a safety issue in the summer months. So thanks for coming back and joining us. It's good to have you, and we'll be right back after the break.